And I wholeheartedly hope that this video will help you narrow down your decision on which size you want to pick for your wrist, and you have a happy user experience going forward, whether you go 42 millimeter or 46 millimeter. That is the point of this video. YouTube, in today's video, we have the brand new Apple Watch Series 10 in both sizes, and I'm gonna help you pick the correct size for your wrist size. I have an approximate 6-inch wrist. I'm gonna be showcasing you guys both sizes on wrist and helping you pick the perfect size for you. My name is CJ, I'm the smartwatch guru, and I get every single smartwatch every year. I make this video every year, and I help so many people pick the correct smartwatches. So lock in, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, because we got the iPhone 16 Pro Max and 16 Pro helping people pick which size to get in those, and so many more tech decisions to be made. Okay, let's get directly into the 42 millimeter Series 10 watch unboxing, and then we'll do the 46 millimeter. Now, I will say this, the boxes are getting slimmer and slimmer. I had to take a double check and just make sure that there was an Apple Watch band in here. Look at this. Look at how slim these boxes are getting. Let's get directly into it. All right. Okay, so I did pick up the Sport Loop on both of these, actually. It's one of my favorite Apple Watch bands. It's just so light and it's just so good. It's highly on my favorites list, but there are so many bands that you can get with an Apple Watch, so whatever you pick first doesn't even matter. I guarantee you it will not be your first Apple Watch band. So we're gonna pull out this new 42 millimeter sizing. It's over with. I was trying not to tear it. And the process has begun as it knows that it has been unboxed. Now let's get this watch band out really quick. Now I'm gonna warn you, when you go with light color Apple Watch bands like this, and you wear your Apple Watch every day, you know, religiously and often, oh, you'll be getting another band in due time. All right, so let's add in the Apple Watch band really quick. Get you guys a quick look at this on the wrist. So make sure when you put your watch on, it's behind your wrist bone. That's how you wear a watch properly. This is 42 millimeters on my approximate 6-inch wrist sizing. So as you guys can see, this fits and looks typically well on my wrist. Do I typically go with the smaller Apple Watch? No. And I'm gonna tell you why in this video and kind of break it down. And it may be a reason why some of you guys with a similar wrist size as mine may lean towards the larger Apple Watch. But before we get these all paired up, let's get into the next one. This is the 46 millimeter, which we have in jet black today. I'm actually looking forward to seeing this one in person. It's a little blast from the past for all my OG Apple Watch users. Look at that chunk. Oh yeah. And these things are so light and so thin this year. I'm all for the eco-friendly packaging, but it just sucks I gotta tear everything that's eco-friendly in order to get the unboxing experience. And so the process begins as it knows it is time. This is a nice size watch. Okay, this is my older, larger stainless steel model right here. Boom. Okay, let's put it up against the Apple Watch Ultra. Man, look at, hold up. Look at how slim this is in comparison. And here's another older Apple Watch. Let's get this Apple Watch band open up. Another Sport Loop. As I told you, these are some of my favorite Apple Watch bands. They just wear so well and they're just so ideal, especially for like an everyday, more casual, chill usage. I like these. Yes, I can get stainless steel with it if I want to. Actually, seeing what the stainless steel look like on here would be a vibe. Look at that right there. Ooh, that's a sneak peek. Wait a minute, I'm gonna have to do a top accessory Apple Watch video in a second, or like top Apple Watch bands video. I got you guys. I have the Midnight Sport Loop on this one. Boom. So Midnight Sport Loop band on the jet black 46 millimeter. Ooh, let me put this bad boy on. Remember, behind the wrist bone. That's how you get your proper wear and your proper fit. Okay. 42? 46. I like both. I'm not gonna lie. These things, man, the benefit of aluminum is for sure a positive. Yeah, so I'm willing to bet money that the aluminum Apple Watches are the top selling Apple Watch overall. They're the most cost effective. That's another plus side to going with the aluminums. And now we have titanium this year with titanium bands, but those are titanium costs. It's to the point where, I don't know, if you're looking at titanium, if you don't mind a little bit chunkier of a watch, man, the Apple Watch Ultra might be the go-to. But I will say this, seeing the body and seeing how slim and sleek the new Apple Watch Series 10 is, I can understand how this in titanium will appeal to the users that were like me who would opt in for the stainless steel model. So, you know, a lot of different choices. Just like you can always pick different bands. The braided, solo braided loop, that's another one of my favorite Apple Watch bands. The only thing about these is over time they do stretch out, but I love them. As you guys can see, another sport loop on deck. Apple Watch bands on top of Apple Watch bands. So the next thing that we need to do is set these up so I can show you them with watch faces. We can do even more of the comparison, really get into the nits and bits, and I'm gonna help you guys decide on which size is best for your wrist. So again, one last look, 42 millimeter on my approximate 6-inch wrist, and then we have the 46 millimeter on my approximate 6-inch wrist. I'll be back with watch faces. All right, back with Apple watch faces. Apple's setup. This is the 42 millimeter right here. You see that new watch face with the ticking that happens even when it's in always on display mode. And then we have the 46 millimeter right here. And I purposely picked watch face colors that showed you the size of the screen. So the size of the screen is another upgrade on this series versus the previous series because they've expanded the screen size, and it's very much in line with like the Apple Watch Ultra 2 right here, as you guys can see. So you're no longer feeling like you're missing out by not purchasing this watch. I mean, there's so much more into this watch in comparison to these. I'll mention it lightly, but let's stick to these and let's compare and let's get you guys the right Apple Watch Series 10 for your wrist. So I'm gonna give you guys another look and then we're gonna break down the spec differences between these two. So this is the 42 millimeter on my approximate 6-inch wrist size right here. This one wears extremely well. It's a super light, very nice watch. This combination, the sport loop with the aluminum style, I love it. Now we have over here on my other wrist, the 46 millimeter on my approximate 6-inch wrist with the sport loop, a little bit more happening as far as size goes, but this is wearable. Even if you have the same wrist as me, it's gonna come up to personal taste, but especially when you're in this aluminum style, it's so light and it's just so easy to wear. The right band with the right watch size equals the right smartwatch experience. So keep that in mind. So now let's get into the real differences between these two that really separate and can add to your decision. And I also wanna add that you like what you like. If you like the larger watch and it might look a little bit bigger on your smaller wrist, and that's where you live, you want the bigger screen, you want to be able to see, you probably wear glasses, you know, it's okay. You can just wear whatever you feel like wearing. You know what I mean? Whatever's comfortable to you. I just want to iterate that before we get into, you know, all of the spec differences and things like that. But there are absolutely other differences to consider, like weight. When you go with the smaller 42 millimeter, your weight is only 30 grams, 1.06 ounces, and that's extremely light. But when you go with the larger 46 millimeter, that jumps up to 36.4 grams. So keep that in mind. And some motivation to make my activity happen from the Apple Watch. It's another plus side, you know, if you need a little nudge. Now, furthermore, both of these are IP6X certified. So they have a 50-meter water resistance for you guys who want to submerge. You know, you guys have that depth sensor and the depth reading now on this Apple Watch series as well with watchOS 11. But another big deciding factor is going to be the screen size. That's something that's real, and it may make or break your decision as to which size you go with. With the 42 millimeter watch size, you have a 1.77 inch LTPO3 OLED with a 2000 nit peak brightness, and the 2000 nits is plenty. I know the Apple Watch Ultra, this goes up to 3000 nits, but is that necessary? No. You can see this watch extremely well in the sunlight. So you get an always on display and a nice size panel at 1.77 inches. But when you switch over to the big boy, the 46 millimeter, you're gonna get a 1.96 inch LTPO OLED with 2000 nits of peak brightness. That has a couple different specs as far as the pixel sizing, but the pixel density between both of these watch faces or watch sizes is 330 ppi. So you're not taking a hit on the resolution, the crispness by going with a smaller panel. Either one of these are going to give you the exact same quality, Apple quality screen of OLED goodness and clarity. Honestly, it's just about what size watch do you want on your wrist, what size suits your eyes and your user experience. Now, both of these have the exact same platform of watchOS 11 with no surprise. Both of these have the Apple S10 chip, the latest dual core chip and so forth. Both of these have 64 gigabytes of onboard storage, so you're not getting more storage by going with a larger watch. Battery. Now, I want you to know this. Smaller watch, smaller battery, smaller screen, so bigger watch, bigger battery, but bigger screen. Keep that in mind because the battery life, ever since Apple changed the battery life, I think since the Watch Series 8, going into the Watch Series 9 and now into the Watch Series 10, it's just peak Apple Watch battery nowadays. So as of right now, unlike last year, I don't have the exact milliamp hour spec, but Apple has both of these rated the exact same as up to 18 hours and 36 hours on low power mode. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, you're gonna get through your day with these Apple Watches. You'll be just fine. They've improved the Apple Watch optimization and battery life to a great degree in the last couple series. So I wouldn't worry about that. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to charge your watch on a daily. That's just how it goes. Unless you're like a super light user, you go into that low power mode and you're able to squeeze out that little extra or whatever. But at the end of the day, the typical tradition with all smartwatches is to charge them every night. So that's how I would treat it. The battery life is phenomenal regardless if you go with the smaller or the larger, so that does not affect your decision. So what else does, CJ? Well, there's material. Now, these both are aluminum, which is what I showed you and told you, which is extremely light and extremely cost effective. But now they have titanium, and that has a titanium budget. So the titanium 42 millimeter is 34.4 grams and the titanium 46 millimeter is 41.7 grams. And that would be in comparison to the 30 grams and 36.4 grams if you go aluminum. So there is a slight increase of about 4 point something ish grams. And also when there's LTE involved, the watch weight slightly differs. So the ones that I'm showing you right now are Bluetooth only. I typically go with Bluetooth only smartwatches. There are certain watches that just have LTE built into them. And if you need LTE, that's fine, go with it. The weight changes slightly, I think by like 2 grams, but no big deal. What is a big deal is the price difference with titanium. You're in that $750 and up mark versus $400 and up, $400, $429, and depending on what band you get with that titanium, you're in the $800 mark, which is in that Apple Watch Ultra territory for sure. Yeah, so man, Apple Watch Ultra, if you don't mind the bulk, if you're willing to spend that price, you can go there. But again, the titanium is replacing the stainless steel. They have a nice polished titanium, so it looks just like stainless steel, yet you get the weight savings. It's an option, but again, the sizing is what you want to figure out. 42 millimeters on my 6-inch wrist. A lot of people comment down below, let me know if you think this is the way to go. 46 millimeter on my 6-inch wrist. People comment down below and let me know if you think this is the way to go. Let me know which size Apple Watch you guys chose, and I wholeheartedly hope that this video will help you narrow down your decision on which size you want to pick for your wrist, and you have a happy user experience going forward, whether you go 42 millimeter or 46 millimeter. That is the point of this video. And as you guys can see, I typically own a nice plethora of Apple Watch bands, Apple Watches, and so on. And I'll continue to do that for you guys. So I'll update you guys on a Series 10 review, I guess, soon in the near future. And the Apple Watch Ultra 2 Satin Black, oh, that's beautiful. I definitely got to get my hands on that. But you know, Apple can't take the whole bank, man. I had to, you know, we got to take it easy, Tim. Okay? Okay? You coming for pockets.
I rise and I wake and I gotta go get it. I'm making my bed and it's straight to the digits.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, I have the 16 Pro Max and 16 Pro. This versus video, comparison video, helping you guys pick the right iPhone for you guys. That video is gonna be dropping. No different than this one, breaking down all of the nits and grits in between the two, helping you guys pick exactly what you need. Peace.
No cup of jokers, this is acidic, so I take a shot with the lemon and ginger. Look in the mirror like, yeah, I'm that. Look in the mirror like, I'm fitted. Looking outside like the world is all mine. Look in the mirror like, go get it. I gotta get to the scene, oh, I gotta get to the bag now. I can't be chasing on these. They getting they feeling and dragged down. That's why they just crash out.